Generative AI never asked schools for permission to enter the classroom. It simply showed up. That makes it an arrival technology, which means the disruption we are seeing right now feels completely different than previous digital rollouts. Usually, integrating a new tool like a laptop program or an online curriculum takes months of committee meetings, pilot programs, and procurement contracts. AI bypassed all of that. Writing an AI policy for a school today is a lot like trying to write a comprehensive aviation manual in 1905, just 2 years after the Wright brothers took flight. Districts are now tasked with managing a highly capable tool that arrived without an instruction manual, all while students and teachers are already using it. School leaders are caught in a difficult position, and their immediate options all carry downsides. Doing absolutely nothing leaves teachers unsupported as chaos builds in their classrooms. Enacting a total ban creates massive enforcement problems and deepens equity gaps between students. And allowing unrestricted integration exposes districts to data privacy violations and risks stunting student cognitive development. This scorecard shows exactly how thoroughly this arrival technology bypassed traditional educational guardrails. Standard formal adoption protocols and safety vetting procedures were entirely skipped, right along with comprehensive teacher training. Yet, despite that missing foundation, student access to these tools is practically universal. Functional guidance for this moment requires a beta policy, a framework built for immediate use and frequent revision. To figure out what that beta policy should look like, we must evaluate the return on investment for the people on the front lines, the teachers. At first glance, AI promises incredible efficiency. It can instantly generate grading rubrics or scaffold reading assignments for 3 different learning levels. This comparison matrix weighs initial inputs against actual outcomes. Using AI for administrative tasks massively reduces initial lesson preparation time, but that saved time is immediately lost on the back end. Teachers spend those recovered hours policing academic integrity. Current AI plagiarism detectors are unreliable. Running assignments through them drains time, and falsely accusing a student of cheating quickly degrades the trust necessary for a healthy classroom. For many educators, AI doesn't actually save time at all. It simply shifts their workload from proactive lesson planning to reactive policing. We also have to measure how this technology impacts the students themselves, specifically their cognitive development. When students encounter a roadblock on a math worksheet, AI acts as a relentless, personalized tutor. If they get stuck writing a complex block of Python code, the tool can instantly debug the errors and clear the path forward. But clearing that path eliminates productive struggle. Building actual neural pathways requires friction. Students have to wrestle with a problem to truly learn it. Expanding our comparison matrix to include student cognition shows how this plays out. When AI bypasses academic friction, the immediate outcome is a completed assignment. The long-term trade-off is the deterioration of independent critical thinking and shrinking student attention spans. Removing all the friction from learning ultimately creates a reliance on the tool rather than the development of the student's own mind. Beyond the individual classroom, AI introduces systemic risks that operate at the district level, beginning with data privacy. Even well-intentioned, highly engaging classroom activities, like generating a customized career action figure for a student, carry hidden dangers. To create that asset, schools unintentionally feed a child's personally identifiable information, like their name and photo, straight into a corporate AI training model. Data privacy concerns often lead schools towards strict bans, but attempting to enforce a zero-tolerance policy introduces a different systemic problem. A strict ban effectively punishes lower-income students who rely entirely on heavily monitored, school-issued Chromebooks. Meanwhile, wealthier students can easily bypass the firewall by pulling out a personal smartphone or logging in on a home computer. Ignoring the ethics of tool access creates an unequal playing field, where a student's resources determine their level of academic opportunity. Understanding these trade-offs is the first step. The second is mapping out an actionable framework for your district. Every policy choice creates a friction point between safety and speed. Prioritizing strict risk control naturally limits how quickly a classroom can experiment with new features. This decision tree helps administrators choose a path based on their core priorities. For districts where risk aversion and data privacy are the absolute highest priorities, the path branches heavily towards standardization. This leads to the approved sandbox policy. Under this framework, districts strictly vet and purchase closed-loop AI tools that guarantee student data is protected and walled off from the outside. While this maximizes security, underfunded districts without dedicated tech coordinators should avoid this route due to the heavy administrative and financial burdens required to maintain it. If a school prioritizes flexibility and places heavy trust in its staff, the matrix highlights a different branch. This path leads to the teacher autonomy model. This approach allows AI rules to vary by subject. An English department might strictly prohibit AI for writing assignments, while a computer science class openly integrates it for debugging. However, schools with highly litigious parent populations who demand uniform grading rules across every single classroom should avoid this model, as it relies heavily on individual teacher discretion. Regardless of which path a district chooses, there is one universal recommendation for deployment. Leaders should publicly label their chosen framework as a beta policy, a temporary set of guidelines explicitly designed to be stress-tested and rewritten next year. In the chaotic early days of an arrival technology, the only catastrophic mistake is locking your school into a rigid set of rules, instead of embracing the agility of a beta mindset.